you know what else we have? Kelvin Shepard talking about Alex Anzalone.
Hey,
Anson, I think we need to have a discussion.
I have
about
it
Mr.
right
Anzalone
here.
Right
Zero
after
concern. Me and Alex are all good. I have zero concern. That player's a leader here. He's been a leader here. He's been an intricate piece in building the culture that's here. And I'm going to pay the respect that he's earned and that he's due. And whatever his private situations are, I'll let Alex address those when he's face-to-face with you all. What I can tell you as far as the concern with me has no effect of how I see Alex or how I view him. That is one of our captains. He's been one of our captains, and I still see it as such.
Interesting statements there by Kelvin Shepard, because if I'm running down the depth chart, we're talking Derek Barnes, we're talking Jack Campbell, we're talking Alex Anzalone, talking Malcolm Rodriguez to a smaller extent, right? Anzalone's kind of the third man out in that scenario because they already paid Barnes a pretty damn decent contract to play linebacker. Jack Campbell is supposed to take the next step this season. Where does that leave an Alex Anzalone, who you hear the coaching staff loves? They can trust him, but is he a part of the evolution of the Detroit Lions moving forward? Because this is a contract year for him.
Well, I said some things on Friday that I don't think a lot of people liked, but the fact
No.
the fact of the matter is this team has a model. I believe I could be wrong, but it was 7 players that are 30 or older on 91-man off-season roster right now. That is a commitment to youth. Some of those guys, obviously, Jared Goff, not going anywhere. 2 of the other guys on the offensive line, 3 of them, in fact. And if you include Skipper, those guys are already being Their draft replacements, they were acquired this year and last year. You look at Mahogany, you look at Ratledge. Now, when you look at Anzalone, as much as he's a part of this team, you look at what he's going to cost, and it really starts to feel like a Jamal Williams situation yet again, where it's a fan favorite, a guy that came here and bust his ass for your team, got you kind of over that proverbial hump that you were stuck at, but this is a guy that's probably going to ask for $10 million or more at the age of 32.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they do that. And, you know, this is really kind of the first player that we've seen that was, you know, loved by the regime that's holding out, I guess. He's not really holding out, but I don't see him back with this team after next year. And I think that they'll be okay, and we will certainly miss you, Anzo. You've been an amazing, amazing contributor, and in fact, so much better than we ever thought that you would be. But these guys have a commitment to their style of building this team, and each year it just seems like Lions fans are just kind of numb to it. Like they think they're going to make this big splash trade. They think that they're going to go out and sign this guy for, you know, X amount of crazy dollars. It's just not in their DNA so far.
Yeah, I like that you brought up Jamal Williams because I think this is a very comparable situation to that. And I didn't feel bad when Swaggy left, right? Because the Lions did good by him, by getting him to be more relevant, letting him lead the league in touchdowns, setting the record here. He goes signs a nice contract, right?
Good point.
Same thing with Anzalone. Like, before Alex Anzalone came to Detroit, he was an okay linebacker. I don't think anybody considered him
for sure
even above middle tier, right? And he's elevated himself, I think, in the eyes of the NFL, in the eyes of the fans here. I know I did not like Alex Anzalone running middle linebacker year 1.
Yep.
Last year, loved it. Thought he was fantastic, taking the correct angles, doing everything that he should do. Like, he's really ingrained himself in this. But with that being said, we've provided him an ability to put his talents on display. He took advantage of it. But it's the end of the show, right? Yeah. Like, the contract's over. The young guys are coming up right behind you. Jack Campbell's going to sign his contract.
And don't worry, you're going to get paid somewhere, Anson.
Right.
That's what's going to happen,
though.
though.
He'll go to, like, the Panthers for $12 million.
Because realistically,
like that, right?
if he can't get that $12 million contract.
He can't here. You can't.
But you know they're saying, here's 8.
Right.
Try the market. If it doesn't work out, we'll bring you back for a year, maybe 2. Who was it in the chat here? It's got the Gunny over here somewhere. What up, Doe, with Detroit Gunny? Anzo turns 31 in September, so yes. Next year, he would be playing in season 32, age 32 season. So I just don't see that happening. It doesn't even matter how good he is this year. In fact, the better he is this year, the more likely he's not going to come back because somebody, like you said, the Panthers are going to throw him double digits.
And I know who can sign him.
I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I'm kind of happy about this conversation.
I am too.
We're to the point of the Detroit Lions. We're letting go of good players that we love. And it's for the betterment of the team, so you understand it. You know Jack Campbell's next. And it's not anything to do with Alex Anzalone. It's more to do with Jack Campbell coming up. And to do with they've already committed to Derek Barnes, right? Signing Derek Barnes to that extension that early, giving him $10 million like that, I don't know if it pinned him in a corner with Anzalone or if that was always the plan with Alex Anzalone to just ride it out into the sunset and let him go. But the fact that we can sit up here and we're talking about this in an aspect of smart management, do we want to re-sign him? Do we want to move on from him? The Lions have never had these conversations previous to the Brad Holmes regime. I can't remember the last, maybe Ndamukong Suh was the last real we need to re-sign this guy or else.
Right.
But now it's even if we don't re-sign a guy that's helped this team a lot, we're still in good shape.
And Jamal Williams' trade for Monty made it so acceptable. And it's we've talked for years about Lions fans being like broken lovers, people that have been beaten and abused by past lovers, and they can never trust somebody. Lions fans are starting to trust their new great partner, their loving, caring partner. And we watch, hey, this guy drafts well. He develops players. He may not make the trade that you wanted, but they're going to win 15 damn games. So I think that a huge part of that is Lions fans finally starting to trust these guys. Might not have been what you would have done, but you're not in Allen Park anyway.
Well, and let's be honest, what you would have done would not have gotten us to 15-2.
100%.
That's, at the end of the day, if you disagree with Brad Holmes, why? What has he done?
Exactly.
Name one. You could name some draft picks that he's missed on, I guess.
I don't know if you were here. Do you know that every single third-day draft pick by this regime has made the 53-man roster?
I mean, that's insane.
Insanity.
We used to have second-round draft picks not even make the 50. It would be let's look at who's on the Lions team from the draft 2 years ago. It'd be one guy. He wouldn't even be playing.
The punter.
It's amazing.
Year after year.
And the best part about that is the team's better, right? So it's not like these guys are sticking around on a horrible team just because they need bodies to throw at you. They're sticking around because they have actual talent and can play and they can get developed and they grow. It's been an amazing run to be a Lions fan. Sometimes I sit back and I think about it and I just can't believe where we're sitting without a Super Bowl. Obviously the Super Bowl would be nice. But where we're sitting as Lions fans to where we're going into every season expecting Super Bowl.
It's amazing.
Instead of going into every season wondering what draft pick we're going to have.
Exactly.
Man, Mike Williams may come out of USC this year. We can get him.
Hey, Pete's got something, but before that, I got to read
buddy.
Jason Kenyon with a huge $20 super chat. Remember, guys, your super chat's going to get you a couple slices of that prize wheel to win these cards. And we will read you on air, of course. My mind was changed earlier. My idea of linebacker market was a few mil lower than what I thought. I figured to reconstruct to the current contract to making this $6 million guaranteed, add $1 million and $0.5 million in incentives, see how the season goes. I don't hate that at all. I love that, in fact. But if I'm Anzalone and I've put the work on the field that I've put here in Detroit for the last few years, I want to get paid. Maybe if they win a ring this year, he's gone. And he's going to get paid. He's going to get 10, 12, maybe even more million a year. And I just don't think that the longevity of that deal, of what he's going to want, is going to play in the plans of what Dan and Brad
think he's the type to hold out, like a Trey Hendrickson, start
on
some rubble in the locker room?
Not on this team. This is not Cincinnati, man. This isn't Detroit anymore. This is now the real Lions. And that sounds a whole lot like BNL.
Stick, I'm going to quickly double down on something I've said before on the show, and I'm going to continue to say it again. I'm still kind of in love with trying to acquire Trey Hendrickson in any sort of way possible. Now, I'm not saying throw Anzalone into the trade before anybody jumps in there, but I do want to say something that what you brought up about you're going to have to start getting rid of maybe one or two players that we like to add the piece that you need. And if Anzalone's on the last year of his deal, and if we just don't have that cap space, and the Bengals just can't get anything done with Trey Hendrickson, I'm just throwing it out there that I don't see Brad Holmes and the Lions getting rid of Anzalone for free, that they're just going to let him walk, without signing him. Oh, he's just going to go sign with the Panthers. I see them getting something for him, and I'm just saying right now is the first opportunity where you can actually pick something up for Anzalone of value.
Hey, that's great, man. Yeah, cash in while you can.
Cash in while you can.
That's why I'm asking Anson about, is he the type that's going to, just pout all season
right.
long? Like, you already saw them announce playing on Christmas. He tweets out a bunch of broken hearts. Like, is this going to be your attitude in the locker room the rest of the season?
Right.
Or is it a contract year, and are you going to play your absolute ass off to get that next contract? That's what we don't know about Alex Anzalone. I would think it's the play your ass off version from what we've seen out of this guy. But you don't know. I mean, it's like feelings can get in the way of a lot of success in a lot of things.
That's right.
Oh, I love the chat, and I hate the chat sometimes. And I love Terrell, and I hate Terrell sometimes. We fought, we've made up. We fought, we've made up. But then here he comes. Stick, it's cute how you just blatantly ignore how Brad blatantly ignored the pass rush all off season. Did he, though?
Did he ignore it, or was there
Did
nobody
he,
left?
I mean, you're getting Aiden Hutchinson back. Mm-hmm. So that should help your pass rush.
You'd think so.
Did he re-signed Davenport, didn't he?
Yeah, didn't he also draft a defensive tackle?
Drafted a defensive end.
Tackle.
That's a tackle.
He drafted a defensive end too.
Oh, yeah, in the sixth
Yeah, and
round.
then Ellis right at the end. At the end
Ahmed
as well.
Hassanine, you guys are just sleeping on this kid. He's been playing football for 2 years. He quickly became the captain of his team, and he's a monster. Like, Hassanine's going to be better than Trey Wingo, who is it
Trey Wingo?
Not Trey Wingo.
He better be.
Makai Wingo. Sorry, better
be better
Makai
than Trey
Wingo in the
Wingo.
sixth round. That was a guy that had a third, fourth round pedigree out of an SEC school, but this Hassanine is a smaller school, but his production is right there. The problem is that he hasn't been playing football for a long time. If this kid came up through high school, he would have gone to a better school. He would have been drafted in the first 2 or 3 rounds. These guys absolutely know what they're doing, man. Like, I know that a lot of people love Jaden Higgins. He went off the board a little bit early. Golden obviously went as well, but he might not be the best, but Tesla was his favorite wide receiver in this class.
That's right.
And sometimes
He's earned that right.
And like some teams draft to, knock the ball out of the park all the time. Sometimes you draft for a single and a double. Like, this kid's going to come in and absolutely make us forget about Tim Patrick when he leaves. The guy loves to block. He's a Raz stud. He's a sub 4.4 guy with unbelievable hands and a big frame. I mean, there's always going to be fans here in Detroit that are slandering our draft picks. If they don't see where they think that Mel Kiper wanted him to go, it's a failure.
Yeah.
Even though 2 years later, this guy is playing his ass off for the Lions and helping us to 15 wins.
100%.
And the thing that guys like Terrell miss is I guess they just didn't watch the first part of the season last year. I guess they didn't really understand that a top 5 defense is pretty damn good.
I wonder if Terrell thought we were winning the Super Bowl after Week 18. Because if you did, that defense was pathetic compared to what we're bringing out Week 1.
Right, and health is the main thing. So, like, that's where it just blows my mind. People that claim to watch the Lions have no nuance that they've watched the Lions. Like, you witnessed a top 5 defense without this magical other end that you need to add to Aiden Hutchinson, which, by the way, no other team in the entire NFL has 2 premier edge rushers. None. Who's opposite Max Crosby?
Exactly.
Right.
Tell me. Who's opposite TJ Watt?
Right.
Who was opposite JJ Watt?
Right.
Who
was opposite Sweat in Philly? Nolan? I mean, they didn't put up 20-plus sacks between the two of them. Let me ask you this.
So this fantasy world that Terrell lives in, to where the Lions are going to go out and sign 7 defensive ends in the offseason for $40 million each per year, and then we're going to run out me at quarterback because we can't afford to pay anybody else.
We're not playing Madden.
It just shows their lack of ball knowledge. And I'm sorry, Terrell, we've had this discussion before with your lack of quarterback knowledge. Now we're getting into lack of defensive end knowledge, and eventually I'm just going to realize you don't know football.
Yeah. Attila the Hun and Danny G in the chat, SOL fans and their obsession with the pass rush. It's crazy to me. Like, if Davenport and Hutchinson stay healthy all season long, how many sacks do you think the two of them can have? 20?
I mean, what, Aiden had 7 in 5 games?
Yeah, so let's say Aiden
Let's
just
extrapolate the data. That puts him at like 30.
Let's say he bottoms out at 13. Let's say he only has 13. Davenport can have 7, right? If you have 20 sacks from your 2 starting defensive ends, you're basically better at pass rush than the last 10, 15 Super Bowl teams.
100%.
There's very few Super Bowl teams that have put a bunch of money and a bunch of commitment into their ends. It's about all 4 guys and the next 4 guys behind them. And what the Lions have done is assemble a hell of a defensive line, not only through the draft, but they also got some guys through free agency this year. I'm not worried about the defense at all. I'm worried about a fast start with new coaches.
So I want to start a new thing here at Woodward Sports. We're going to call it Learning Football with Stick.
Hey.
And this is for people like Terrell. Can you zoom in on me a little bit?
Yeah, let me fix that for you.
Yeah, I
Hang
know
on.
the white balance.
Those are
Yeah, hang
X's
on.
and O's, Terrell.
Yeah, these are X's and O's. Zoom in.
I got you, brother. Don't worry.
So these guys up here,
Who's the square?
these guys, it's the center. This
Oh, is that what that
is? If you've ever
is?
played football, that's how they draw the center. Terrell, this is the center. To the left of the center is the 1 gap, the 3, and then you go like this is how it goes. To the right is even numbers, 2, 4, 6. That's how it goes. Defense, so this is Aiden Hutchinson, let's say.
Yes.
Aiden Hutchinson wasn't there last year. So only 1 guy had to be accountable for that guy. Well, now that Aiden's back, now 2 guys.
You mean
will
he's
be-
going to get double teamed?
Yes, and guess what? So now 2 of the 5 are occupied.
So the rest get one-on-one? Are you saying?
Leaving 3 of the 5 to go one-on-one with these 3.
What a concept.
So last year nobody was doubling anybody, so they could pick and choose. Okay, we're doing the defensive tackle this play. Okay, next play we're gonna do Reader. Next play we're gonna do Pascal. Next play, like you could never tell how they were gonna scheme their offense. Well, this year Terrell with Aiden Hutchinson back, 2 of these guys go here. Now these guys, all they have to do is win a one-on-one matchup. Now a guy like Zadarius Smith. He's not going to win the double team matchups.
Nope.
He's not that player. He's not Aiden Hutchinson. But if you put a Zadarius Smith here when he's getting one-on-one, he will win more of these matchups, making him a better player. Welcome to Football 101 here on Woodward Sports, Terrell. This is how addition by guys you already have coming back healthy not only will help this guy, but will help 1, 2, 3 guys.
Hashtag
Say it
math
with
is
me.
hard.
1, 2, 3.
Lions
Hashtag
fan.
math is hard.
Anytime you need a tutor, I can help you, Terrell. I got
what?
you, baby.
What did he need?
A tutor.
Let me ask you this.
Superior tuna?
Is Zadarius Smith in this team's plans, do you think?
Yes, 100%. He would have
100%.
signed with another team already.
You think so?
And they
wouldn't be
wouldn't have
dating
picked
Cash.
up his cousin to play on the freaking practice squad.
Sorry, Kelly Rowe.
Yeah, sorry. He wouldn't be dating Cash Doll and in the city all the time.
Right.
Like, no, he's here. He's a Detroiter. They're going to resign. There's
I think
no
so,
way
too.
Zadarius Smith isn't picked up by 31 other teams right now, unless they're calling him and he's like, yeah, I want $14 million.
I agree.
Like-
Why do you think it hasn't happened, though?
It doesn't have to.
Just let him have the summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Brad. I mean, he's a vet.
He
This- Like, they're in talks with his agent.
Does he understand the turmoil he is casting Lions fans into?
Lions fan.
Like, people are arguing at their house
Lions
over
fan.
Zadarius Smith. Like, it's real. People are arguing over Zadarius Smith, like just on Twitter, in real life.
Oh.
Can you just make it happen,
And
guys?
listen, I think Zadarius will be a great addition to this team. If they don't sign Zadarius, I don't think it's going to kill this team.
not gonna kill you.
But we learned last year, you want the depth. And if you can get a guy with the caliber of Zadarius Smith to play Terrell opposite He would play over here, Terrell. Terrell, pay attention. Over here. And he would get the single coverage.
You know why they're waiting, don't you?
Huh?
You know why they're waiting. On Zadarius. They're calling Cincinnati, man.
You think so?
I think they're on the
don't.
phone with the Bengals.
Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
I think so.
All right, Maz.
Keitho with a comment.
love you,
Zadarius
dude.
is taking training camp off. And I think that could be it. Like, hey Z, take training camp off. We'll sign you 3 weeks in.
He's on a cash honeymoon.